Hello boys and girls and undisclosed genders. I have one horrible topic to unleash into the world today. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have actually been foaming at the mouth ever since Chit Chat began, or even before that, to really go in detail about this shycraft story. A beautiful wasteland of chaos that I don't think I can really forget anymore. There's so many angles that I can begin with this, because there was just so much to it. Just to put it bluntly, it was a Minecraft server all the way back then that I made when I was still in elementary school, basically. Basically, late elementary school, early middle school. And I had it with a bunch of friends on Pocket Edition v0.11.0, the one with lifeboat survival games and MCIGs and screenies where the front of your skin would be in the back because Minecraft didn't implement it. This era of Minecraft Pocket Edition, and therefore this era of shycraft, was honestly one of the wildest things in my life. So, I hope whatever you're doing or whatever you're eating is very nice, and I will begin right now. So, in its stead, right, v11.0, as I said, there were a lot of flaws with Minecraft at the time, I shall admit. There was the whole thing where you can change your name to whoever you want. So in Lifeboat, you would see maybe a number of Dan TDMs in the server. I mean, there is leeway. If there's someone whose name is already that, you can't join again because of the whole invalid session thing. But in terms of making your own server and stealing your parents' credit card, much like I did to make your own, there were a lot of unforeseen little mishaps. And Shycraft started out as beautiful as ever, a place where me and a number of close friends of mine that I met through MCIG could build whatever we want. We can fuck around and, roleplay even, or build tiny little towns and make shops, make TRPGs, just RPGs. Make sword art online. I'm looking at you, you motherfucker, if you can point yourself out. But Shycraft was a beautiful place full of statues and sumotori and billboard signs and Pikachu cults, and boy, I fucking loved it. Now, it started out pretty small. It was just me and a number of friends, as I said earlier, but eventually, some people would eventually find the server after I would advertise it on my Instagram. One of these people, their name is senpaipiggy. Now, this is a name that I don't think I will forget for the next 10 years and the next 10 years after that, but alas, I will have to go on with them. Now, I was alone in the server at the time, and I was building my little Skywars minigame thing that I was attempting, because Skywars had not been fully implemented, and I knew not a wink about Redstone, because I'm fairly sure that Redstone wasn't even, implemented at the time until way later. So I had to find a way to code this shit without neither command blocks or Redstone. And so they got on the server in the middle of me building this alone on a random school night, and they were like, "Hey, I really love the little areas you have here." And me at the time, I was starstruck. Oh my god, someone gets to notice the effort that I didn't even do because I didn't build this. And so I thank them in every way I knew how, and we spent which was essentially like a little, Minecraft date of showing off all the builds that my friends built and showing them the unfinished things, the bank, the statues, all of that, and they loved every second of it. Eventually they said they had to go, and of course I let them, because, we all have our bedtimes, and I really enjoyed their presence. And so they left, and ever since then, I did not see them again at all, not even once. I talked to all of my close friends about it, saying how much I miss them, and that, we should have exchanged Instagrams so that we could talk again. But it never happened. I never found out who their identity was. And, you know, unbeknownst to me, it was probably just some 30-year-old man. That couldn't be true, right, guys? Right? Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is the part where I say, yes, this was a 30-year-old man. But, I'll leave that to, your own interpretation until I reveal what actually occurred. Now, we would build a lot more things. We would build races, we would build more minigames, we even built a pig with a crown on it that I would eventually send in the group chat saying, wow, we made Technoblade before he was even a thing. Rest in peace, my man, by the way. And, for Christ's sake, it was just... the flaws and the loopholes of old Minecraft really bit the server in the ass by this point. Remember when I said that people can change their names to whatever they want? I really meant it. And the thing is, with small servers with no regulation, is that you can change your name if you know the owner, or like someone with admin, to that name, and if they are not on the server, you can just go on as that name and do whatever the fuck you want. This is not a joke, or I'm pretty sure that's a theory of how it happened, because eventually we found out that people found op on accounts that shouldn't have op, and they would give themselves admin and trash all of our builds. The statues, the little prom things we had, all of our towns spanned with diamond blocks are just broken entirely. And that was honestly, like, devastating. But for as horrible and dejecting as it was, it actually was not too bad, because with builds and stuff, they would always leave a trace of it, thankfully. And all of us, we would have the determination, I'm giving them a lot of credit here, we would all have the willpower or the free time to eventually rebuild. Because, you know, with builds, we knew what was there, we knew what we were trying to do, and just like the madmen at 2B2T, we will fucking rebuild that shit in any way we can. And so we did. We did rebuild that shit. But it wasn't until someone edited the community board in Spawn after countless eras, Pikachu era, you know, Sumotori era, all of that. Someone went on the server after trashing Spawn a few weeks back and changed the community signs. I went on the server at the time. I was alone because I'm usually the first one to get on the server, and I noticed that all my signs regarding what we should build, what we should do, moderation things, were all gone. And all the credits, all of our names, they too it simply disappeared. And I was simply confused, because I didn't think that anyone else went on the server. I sure know that my friends didn't go on the server, because I forgot the reasoning, but I was very confident that they were not as available as they could be at this time. And I read the signs, and it all started with senpaipiggy. Senpaipiggy's name was written on the top of it, followed by countless texts of threats, of sexual harassment, and just really outrageous things plagued the entirety of the community board. And hopefully editor me put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video, but it was some heinous shit. I'm talking like not only sexual harassment, I'm talking like human trafficking, you know, R-word, all that stuff, and it was obviously a lot for elementary school me to handle, assuming I even knew what it meant, but it was very vulgar shit that I don't think any of my friends could write at the time, so obviously it was just some master troll who decided to, you know, for some reason, take chaos against us in terms of making fun of me missing this one specific person. Now, as devastated as I said I was, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't really know what any of it meant. And right afterward, I mean, obviously I knew half of it, and right after I read all of that, I went directly to my Instagram, my little Pikachu, eventually Undertale Instagram, and sent a screenshot of the community board. I will paste a link of it in the description. If you want to read it, that's up to you. But I basically put a sign in front of it that was just like,
Do you guys believe this? What do you think? Comment down below.
not a joke. It was absolutely despicable. It was so fucking bad. But whatever it was just horrible. And I eventually told everyone else about it, and I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't really tell too many people about it, because knowing that some people that, I'm not going to name them, but I know that anyone who has been in Shycraft will understand who I'm talking about when I say the name Kai. When the people who I could potentially tell this to are people who are like, I want to R-word another girl in the server, there's not really much hope that there would be any, consolation or rational advice by any means. So yeah, that's that. And basically, Shycraft ended in a number of these issues and many, many more, from people trashing it to even more loopholes in the system to people simply growing up. And that started with one person, then another, and then eventually me, where I eventually abandoned the server and abandoned all of the bullshit that occurred. I'm leaving out a lot of the normal drama, but Shycraft simply ended in a griefed, unmoderated chaos. So, yeah, all things considered, I do talk to only one of the people, or I don't even talk to them, but I am in contact with only one other person from the Shycraft server, but in all actuality, I do miss a lot of the people that I have made good times with in that server, and especially the people that were on MCIG. So, if you're watching this and you were in old MCIG, I give you a nice little pat on the back, and I don't know, maybe like a kiss on the cheek even. That's it for Shycraft. I thought I was going to talk about more, but I'll leave it at this for now. Maybe I'll make a part 2 if I feel like compiling enough information, but thank you for listening to this episode of Chit Chat. I humbly and earnestly appreciate it, and as always, have a lovely night.